Hello everyone. This week I'm going to be putting together the Imperial Probe Droid. There are a few interesting construction techniques in here, so I'm going to be using this set as a bit of a learning experience to teach me how to do certain building techniques like articulated limbs and also how to make something look round when dealing with a bunch of square pieces. Let's get to it. So that's the main base, just random terrain, ice with a little bit of dirty snow in there. And there's a couple hooks in here, and that's for the name plate or the display plate that we'll be doing right next here. All right, there's our display plate. That goes onto these two hooks right here. Nice clicking. This is articulated so it can be put in different positions. There's the base. Nothing too fancy. We'll get right into bag number 2. Okay, bag number 2 is going to be the lower half of the body of the Imperial Probe Droid. So mostly a square with rounded edges. Pretty solid construction so far. So here's our central hub, our two opposing edges. Now I'm going to fill in the inside. These are 4 identical assemblies and they snap around the outside here. And now 4 for the other direction. So these can rotate. If you rotate them in, that helps make the illusion of being round. It's very simple, but it works really well. Now I just got to put in the middle parts. So this seems rather simple, but it works. All of this so it can go onto this brick with a single stud in the middle and just sits on top, and it fills in that 45-degree corner. And once we put some top pieces on, that'll lock it all in place. Isn't that amazing? I'm going to have to remember this. I've tried to make round things myself and I never know how to do this middle piece. That is a very easy way to do it. So I just wanted to do a quick close-up of this construction. You can see how our two 90-degree parts are put together, and then the main feature is this diagonal piece in here. I'll pop one out just to show it a little bit better. Very simple construction. I'm sure almost every Lego builder out there has these parts, and then it goes on this central brick in the middle here. So the base there is square, and then this allows it to go at the 45 degrees so that it fills in the outside. And with these bricks on the outside here, which could tilt just a little bit, that helps create the illusion of curvature. And that's how you make a bunch of square pieces look round. I'm just going to cover these up with these pieces, and that'll hold everything together. Keep those middle ones from coming apart. So that's the end of bag number 2. We get the lower half of the main body. For bag number 3, we'll add the top to this and then set it onto our base that we built. We'll further close out the top here. Just like how solid this feels. Now, every now and then you just need a curved piece. These are quite common, actually. You can get these in a variety of different colors. So this fills out this outer corner. This would be a little bit harder to do without this curved brick. Well, that looks nice. So this base is one that's meant for being able to rotate apart. So there's going to be some movement in here, which I wasn't expecting. Oh, we got a sticker. Sticker number 1. Nothing too fancy in this sticker, just looks like a random machine panel. Would have been nice if that was printed. I say that all the time. You know, I'll admit this construction's more interesting than I thought it would be. I thought it looked a little boring, but, well, visually it might not. Actually, you know, visually it looks okay. But man, this is solid. Like, this is like a hockey puck. So that's the base. Here's a close-up of what we just did here in bag number 3. A lot of random detail on the bottom. I mean, this is a droid, so it's got a lot of attachments to it. Some pins here, so I'm not sure if those are just visual or there's going to be something actually attaching to that later. Might be some of the legs. Got some stickers that went on. Now if I flip it over, there's the top. Starting to look good, actually. A little bit of color with the translucent orange brick. I like it. Now this sits on top of a pedestal, and the reason why this is made out of clear bricks is to give the illusion that it's floating in space. Still need this rod in the middle though. Too bad they couldn't make this rod in clear. That, I don't think I've ever seen this with the clear plastic. That would help hide it even more. Right, so now we put our pedestal onto the base here, and the whole thing sits in this pocket right here. And we'll sit it in here. Well, that's what it looks like at the end of bag number 3. We still have 3 bags of parts left to go. Time for parts bag number 4. So these rods are forming the articulated joints. All right, there's an articulated limb. Now, where does this go? Oh, so this is where those pins on the bottom come in handy. This one should go right here. So it's a little delicate because of the articulation here. Oh, just a weird assembly of joints. This one doesn't actually rotate other than right at the ends. Now this, there's a hole for this to go right there. Hopefully the friction keeps it there. I could freely rotate. There is our last, well, not last, I think there's a lot more appendages here, but the last of bag number 4. Again, this has got a hole for a Technic pin, so this one should go right here. Okay, at the end of bag number 4, we have 3 articulated droid appendages put on. Okay, bag number 5 looks like we'll do the same thing on the other side. Now this one, there's one last pin here. This will go underneath like that. Another jaw mechanism in here. So there's a pinhole right there. Yeah, so this sticks out more sideways. One last spot for that to go is right there. So at the end of bag number 5, we have all of our articulated limbs put on. They are a bit fragile due to their construction, so I wouldn't want to grab the set by the legs. I would definitely want to grab it from here or the base. Of course, this comes out, so I would want to grab it from there to lift it. Now bag number 6, there's a decent amount of parts in bag number 6. It should just be the top assembly here. There's a ton of detail that's going into this thing. It's quite clever the way they use these small kind of like hook and pin elements for attachments to go sideways. Again, using square pieces to give the illusion of something round. Just a real quick close-up of this upper assembly. can see all the intricate parts put around the outside. Some very interesting construction went into this in order to get all those attachments to be around the outside like that. Quite cool. So the last step to do, we got our head assembly here, is to install this to the top. And this goes on our rotating disc. There we go. So this can rotate quite well up here, nice and smooth. It doesn't even click. It's just very smooth rotation. And then of course we have the articulated arms that can be moved around as you want. You can pop them all up if you want here to make it look a little more dynamic. So not as dull as I thought when I looked at the box. I'm like, yeah, it kind of looks neat, but I thought the construction would be really simple. But no, the construction was quite complicated in both the base here and the top. It's a good set for learning how to do attachments on a round element, like getting these 45 degrees and 22.5 degree attachments. And then this upper assembly, there's so many parts that are sticking off the side here that in order to get those to be attached that way, there's a bunch of little pins and hooks, and it's quite interesting how they put this all together. So quite a few parts just went in just to the head of the droid. Anyway, just a quick one-time build here. I hope you enjoyed this build. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next week.